What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are talking about 2024's Love, Lies, Bleeding. And this movie's from director Rose Glass. She did a great job. I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Kristen Stewart, Katy O'Brien. So this movie's one of those that I really enjoyed and I've been wanting to see for a while. Kind of reminded me of like a Basic Instinct, where your initial thoughts when you're watching the movie are, ooh, Sharon Stone, hot as fuck. And then by the end of the movie, you're so caught up in what's going on in the story and the mystery that you kind of forgot all about Sharon Stone crossing her legs and showing her pussy, right? Like, you forget all about how hot Katy O'Brien and Kristen Stewart are, which are totally valid, right? Like, there was a guy that got arrested in a movie theater because he had pulled his stuff out and he had like booze set up and he fell asleep with his thing out in the movie theater, and they like took a picture. I was like, oh my god, how do you do this? And then I'm watching the movie and I go, oh, I can understand how that guy, he was drunk, he sat down, the start of the movie happened, it was super hot, he started jerking it, and then all of a sudden the movie gets serious, he fell asleep, and the people walked in and were like, yo, this guy's fucked up, how the fuck do you do this? Now granted, you have to be a sick motherfucker to do that shit in a public place, right? But if you were watching this at home, I could clearly see how this guy might have done the same thing at home, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, I'm here for a great love story, right? So you see how these characters meet. Katy O'Brien is fucking so jacked and so gorgeous, but also a phenomenal actress, right? I really like her. Her character in Andor was really good. I believe it was Andor. It might have been Mandalorian. But she plays a character in the Star Wars universe. She was also in Ant-Man Quantumania. That movie was not bad because of her, I can promise you that. She did a fine job, but I really want her to get like a Wonder Woman or like a, you know, a really high level role where everyone's gonna know who Katy O'Brien is, you know what I'm saying? Because this movie was like still kinda under the radar, still kinda, you know, public, but not like crazy Marvel level of like famous, not like Kristen Stewart Twilight famous, you know what I mean? Like, that girl hasn't made a Twilight movie in years, and there are people that showed up for this movie, I guarantee you, because they loved her from Twilight. And, I mean, that's how I know Kristen Stewart, but still, Kristen Stewart's a phenomenal actress. I find her as a person even funnier, right? Seeing her talk to Seth Meyers on his, like, late night show, so funny. But, you know, the love story between these two, and, you know, she's Katy O'Brien's character, Jackie, is like a drifter and like a hitchhiker. She's thumbing around town. She's trying to make her way to Vegas from Oklahoma, and she's pretty much been hitchhiking, sleeping under overpasses, you know, just working out and just getting jacked. And she's originally all natural, and as soon as she meets Kristen Stewart's character's Lou, she's like, Lou's running the gym here, and she's like the person cleaning the toilets and, you know, probably cleaning the racks and that type of stuff. And she really likes this girl. She goes, you've been looking really good. Those lines, man, you got some pretty serious lines. There's this douchebag named Chester walks out and goes, hey baby, you shouldn't be talking to Lou here, she's a real grade A dyke, but hey, I'm going to get a drink, you want to come? And she goes, and she's like kind of looking at Kristen Stewart. She's like, oh yeah, grade A dyke, is that sure? Like, kind of like showing Kristen Stewart, like, I'm interested in you, not this fucking loser. And he like grabs her arm and goes, come on, no, let's go get a drink. And she punches him in the face, and she's like, get the fuck out of here. And he slaps her back, and I'm like, oh, fucking kill him! Fucking kill him! Right, like, and he's like, you fucking bitch, I was being nice. And I'm like, listen, women, if there's ever a man named Chester coming towards you asking you to go get a drink with him, the answer is always no. I don't care if he's the nicest guy alive. If he's got the name Chester, stay away from him. Ugh. But Kristen Stewart talks her into doing like steroids, and so she starts getting really big. But then there was like this whole like side of the movie where I thought there was going to be like a horror twist, kind of more than there is, right? Because she's taking the steroids, and we keep getting shots of Katy O'Brien, and she's like flexing, and you can see like her regular muscle, and all of a sudden it looks like the muscle's just getting bigger and bigger, and you can hear like the muscle tearing and the bones starting to crack. There's one point where like they show her back, and it looks like she's like about to rip out of a t-shirt. She's getting so huge, and you're like, Jesus Christ, is this girl about to become like a Hulk monster? And that's kind of where I thought this movie was going to go by the end. But it kind of implies that in the same way, without like the physical transformation of the Hulk. She gets like the mental transformation of the Hulk, where all of a sudden people start talking shit or getting underneath her skin and getting her worked up, and all of a sudden, you know, her eyes turn back in the back of her head like a shark, and she sees black, and she just goes and she attacks and you know, can't stop. She's just physically in a like a beast, you know, and she just fucking you know, like starts beating the shit out of people, or, you know, shoots somebody, you know, like she's just got that temper that can be set off in an instant. So, but like it's crazy how it's all intertwined, right? So she shows up before she even meets Kristen Stewart. She shows up, hooks up with Dave Franco's character in the back of a bar to get a job. She gets a job at a gun range as a waitress. The person that owns the gun range is Ed Harris. Ed Harris is Kristen Stewart's character's dad. Kristen Stewart and her dad don't talk, right? So all of a sudden, Katy O'Brien's character Jackie ends up with Lou, Kristen Stewart's character, and they're like together hooking up. But Kristen Stewart doesn't want to talk to her dad because her and her dad have some dark past where he was like clearly a murderer and trying to hide bodies, and she's just a drifter trying to make some money and make her way to Vegas so she can win this lifting competition. And the whole time I'm like, Kristen, just go with her, go with her. And then all of a sudden we find out that Dave Franco's character is an abusive husband to, and also a cheater, because we saw him cheating with Katy O'Brien at the very start of the movie, right? So not only did Katy O'Brien and Dave Franco hook up, he's married with kids to Kristen Stewart's sister, beating the hell out of her sister. The sister won't press charges because she's like brainwashed and like letting this man beat her, but still like loving him and doing everything for him. And I'm like, listen, Dave Franco's character is such a douchebag. He deserves to die. So Katy O'Brien, you know, spoilers, we don't want to know what happens in the movie. You should have been gone a while ago, but Katy O'Brien kills the motherfucker. Then Kristen Stewart's like, oh my god, what the fuck did you do? You shouldn't have done this. She's like, I made it right. You know, it's like, holy shit. And so Kristen Stewart, instead of like turning her in and like going that whole route, cleans up the body and gets rid of it and, you know, exposes the evidence and gets rid of everything and cleans the house and makes it so it's spotless and helps Katy so she doesn't have to go down for this murder, even though she probably should. And they go to this cliff, they push the car over, she throws a Molotov into the pit starts burning, right? And it's like this cavern, like in this, like just ravine, and she goes, there's more stuff down there, that smoke is going to be seen by morning, and there's going to be cops out here, and they're going to find a whole bunch of evidence, and this evidence is going to point to Ed Harris's character, Kristen Stewart's father, instead of Jackie, Katy O'Brien, right? So it's like, oh my god, now you're really in. You're like, oh my god, this love story just keeps getting crazier. But I'm still kind of like, I really want Katy to get to her workout competition. I really want Kristen Stewart and her to be happy. But they kind of start to fight and not really go well. So all of a sudden, Kristen Stewart's there. Or I believe Katy goes to the workout competition and like she's doing real well, and she like took more of the steroids, and like she's now thinking about the murder, and Kristen Stewart didn't go with her and shit, so she's up there like flexing, doing her thing. Katy O'Brien's so goddamn sexy, so ripped. I wish I could be half as jacked as this woman is in this movie. And she doesn't win the competition because she throws up on stage, beats a lady up behind it, you know, gets arrested, has to call Lou. She calls Lou. There's another girl in the house that is now with Lou and hooking up with Lou, and it's been like a day, and she's already found herself a new woman, but this woman was trying to get with Lou the whole time and was jealous of Katy O'Brien's character. So Katy calls from jail, and she's like, never call here again, Lou doesn't like you. Click. And the bitch is naked, and she's like, I won, you know, fuck her. So she comes back once calling Ed Harris to get her out of jail, gets her out of jail, and Ed Harris goes, there's something you need to do. Goes and sends her to take out Daisy, the one that was with Kristen Stewart. Oh my god. So Kristen Stewart walks in the house, all of a sudden she turns around and there's a gunshot. So I'm like, holy shit, did Kristen Stewart just get shot? All of a sudden there's blood all over the back of Kristen Stewart. She looks down and Katy O'Brien had just shot the girl in the head and then just takes off. You know, so this is like the front door of Lou's place. She killed her at the front door. So now there's a body on the ground. There's blood all over her. So she's got to clean up the place. As she's cleaning up the place, the FBI shows up. She stuffs the body behind the couch. The FBI sits down on the couch. It is so crazy, this movie. It is really nuts. And I honestly don't even really remember how it, like, officially ends. But I know that, like, Katy O'Brien and Kristen Stewart really killed it in this movie, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it's been a couple days since I watched it. That's why I don't really particularly remember the end, like directly how it ends and where what happens. But I'm almost positive they left it kind of like open on like, oh shit, this is like what happened. But still, I think it's these two, and I really love the love story, and I really wish I saw it in the theaters. But, you know, still watching at home, it's really, really good. 4 out of 5 stars for me, about a 8 out of 10. Comment below, what do you think of this movie out of 4 or 5 stars? Or out of 5 or 10 stars? You know, whatever your ranking system's in, leave those in the comment section below. You can follow my other social medias in the link down in the description below. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell so you don't miss future movie reviews. My name is Big Cam. Thank you guys for watching so much. Comment below all your thoughts on this movie, Love Lies Bleeding, from Rose Glass, Kristen Stewart, Katy O'Brien, Ed Harris. I really, really enjoyed this movie, and it was just one of those movies I've been thinking about since I saw it, and it's crazy. And yeah, so stay tuned for the next video. We'll be talking more movies, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.